Let's see now. Hey, Michael. Yeah, I've never drawn this guy before, so I actually had another drawing. I had inked it, and I was like, this is shit. So I don't often restart commissions, but I was having a hard time with this one. But I'm well. I'm heading off to the States in the morning, so just trying to get these done, get all my ducks in a row, pack. That would be good. Probably be my last stream for a while. I don't really have any other commissions slated for a while, and I really need to get drawing pages again. But I'm considering maybe taking a commission a month or something, where I just do like one of these a month. Maybe? I don't know. Or maybe doing maybe one of these and one of an A4 one. I don't know. I don't really want to overcommit. I prefer not commit to something rather than commit and then pull out of it, you know. I am, yeah, heading to see Tweetu. Haven't been in years now, so I'm really looking forward to it. Who's this? I know this channel. Cool. One of those things I wish I'd gone to when I still lived in the Midwest. Yeah, it's a great show. I went there I think the first one, and had a great time. And I went back. Then I'd say 3. This might be my 4th time. Not sure. I'm going over a little earlier just because I'd like to actually see this bit of the city this time. I feel like I didn't really get a chance to before. Are you there for specific events, announcements, or artist alley type of situation? Nothing specific. Just going over to see people, to be honest. I'll have a table, but yeah, I don't have any big things announced or anything like that. I'm just hoping to catch up with people and just enjoy myself, to be honest. Though we're having really nice weather here in Ireland, looks like I'm going to miss it all. Typical. The Art Institute of Chicago is one of my favorite museums. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely having a big couple of tourist days. So all right, Art Institute. Okay, I'm going to put that down. I haven't been to galleries in a while even, so yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Oh, cool. Did I ever get a chance to read King and Jared's Mr. Miracle series? I actually didn't. I bought it. I'm pretty sure I bought it. I think I have the hardcover. But no, I haven't actually read it. I'm embarrassed to say. Don't tell anyone. I really like the look of everything Mitch did, and I like Tom's work as well. So I just knock it down to haven't had a chance yet. But that's pretty embarrassing to admit. So yeah, please don't tell anyone. It's weird. I won't name names or anything, but there's definitely people who are like in the industry who I've met and like they're really nice and everything, but I just haven't read their stuff. Not Mitch and Tom, obviously. I would have. I was early on the Tom King train. Mitch too, because we kind of broke in at the same time. But the more successful they've gotten, the harder it has been to keep track. I was late to both of them, slowly trying to catch up on both. Tom, I recall, worked with my associate, Stephen Mooney, on Grayson. Might have been the first thing I heard of him, but he was waiting to get a studio mate of mine, Jordy Belair, on colouring on his books. So I remember he was really wanted to get her on Vision, which did happen, and well, the rest is the rest, really. Wait, actually no, that's not the first time I heard of Tom King. He and it's linked to Mitch as well, actually. Mitch and I were on the same sketch blog with people like Chris Somney and Mike Hawthorne and what have you, and Tom Fowler is one of the artists, and Tom drew a kind of a Superman image that I think Tom used for a novel he wrote. That was his kind of first thing he did. So I knew the image because Tom Fowler had drawn it, and this Tom Fowler, this Tom King guy ended up doing okay. But Mitch was also on the blog, so we did a lot of kind of drawing the same character and messing around that way. We were both working at Boom at the same time. He was a colorist on some kind of Stan Lee type project, if I recall. Jesus, going long ways now. I was doing 28 Days Later at the time. But sketch blogs were a cool thing at the time, to kind of meet other artists and build up a network of peers. You don't really see them anymore, unfortunately. Walt is, oh Jesus, Gabriel Hernando Walt is incredible. I got to see a lot of his all of his inks on those pages too, and actually he worked with Jordy on a Magneto book before that, and again the work on his was great. Actually, I looked at a lot of his ink washes and stuff when I was preparing on Moon Knight, because he's one of those guys who I thought like had a really good use of washes that were like fairly efficient. Weren't too laborious. I think it was him, and then for Grado I looked at a lot of. Hey David, how's it going, man? Did you ever read Sentient that Walter drew? No, what was that? Never heard of it, I don't think. Oh no, sorry, wait, no, I have. Sorry, Sentient, yes, that was the book. Sorry, I have read that. That was fantastic. That was the space book with Jeff Lemire for TKO, if I recall. Yes, I read that one very miserable Christmas. I think I got it for myself for Christmas, and I was like, "This is a mistake. This is so good. I wish I hadn't read this." Unbelievable. And I think of it was all watercolor as well, if I recall, or painted anyway. Yeah, that's great. I think I'm doing a show in Europe with him, so I'm hoping I get to pick his brain a bit with clever questions like "Why are you so great?" And "Can I be as great as you, please?" etc. I have met him once. He was very, very nice fella, man, dude, bro. I tried to pick it up a while back but couldn't find an English version. I guess it's old enough now. Don't know if those books if they keep them in print. But there's a lovely paper quality to it as well. It's really nice. And it was a great Jeff Lemire story as well. It's the place that counts, yeah. Do you get a say in your independent stuff on paper quality? Well, I just use my own stuff, Michael. I feel like I've said it like 20 times in the streams the last while. People keep asking about the paper, but with your own stuff, you just use whatever the hell you want, really. To be fair, the Marvel stuff I could probably do the same, but I like the free paper, so. But I use the same stuff the whole time. Oh, sorry, in printed material. Oh, I see the paper. Oh, I gotcha. Sorry, Michael. Yeah, an image, you basically have two choices. I mean, you can get other stuff like, let me see, I remember on that Texas Blood, the new book, those guys used newsprint, which is great, but it's quite expensive. So paper costs are definitely a consideration. Image has two kind of standard types of paper stock that they use. One is glossy and one is matte. I like the matte one personally. We use that on injection. I use it on Old Dog. Pretty much everything, actually. Sorry, I've used it on everything. I feel it's the nicest paper quality for the amount you're paying. You're getting good value. I did use a uncoated paper stock for the cover of Old Dog because I wanted it to have a different feel. That's more money. Same with the cover to Bog Bodies as well. It's more money, costs a lot more money. But I figured I tried for the covers at least to get a different feel. It wasn't affordable to do it for the actual all the interiors. But I mean, you could use a much more expensive paper. You could use much less really image or open. They'll work out kind of what the cost is probably going to look like. But it's ultimately your choice. And I think they will also maybe advise you that, like, you know, this is very expensive paper and it's a small print run, so it's not very cost effective. Things like that can be quite helpful. But it's ultimately your call if you decide to lose money. I try and thread the needle between both of, like, you know, I just hate the glossy stuff. I think it's awful. I don't see the point in doing creator own stuff if it's just going to look awful. So I quite like the matte that I used on Old Dog and everything else. You've probably worked clear, Michael. I've been asked the same question. I've been asked the same question a lot for some reason in the last couple of weeks, so I got confused there. Yeah, that would have been nuts and Uncharted. I'd be worried about ink rubbing on ink in interiors. Oh well, the uncoated. It's not. It's not that, like. It's more the paper itself rather than the ink. So it's like if you do get a chance to see Bog Bodies or Savage Town and just have a feel, you can see that it's perfectly fine. It's just got a nice text. Coated just basically means it has a nicer texture to it. It feels more papery, if that makes sense. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I kind of feel if you're doing something in print, the way so much stuff is in digital now, you kind of need to just, you know, needs to feel like it's worth it in your hands. Like I did the same thing with the issues of Old Dog, the single issues, not the trade, but the single issues have a different coat, different kind of paper coating. To the interior pages again because I just wanted it to have a different feel. I wanted it when you pick it up to feel substantial. There, I have an argument. You know, my argument is that, like, people will make those decisions when they pick stuff up in their hands. That those things matter. On the other hand, I kind of forgot that, like, this book was coming out post-COVID, so not everybody was picking up that book in the stands. They were ordering it online or whatnot. So it's I don't know if it really pans out that way, but to me it doesn't matter. I just want to make a nice book. I want to make a book that feels good in your hands. Oh, thanks, man. I mean, when it was coming out, it was like, are any reviewers going to mention the paper quality? But no, they didn't. But what's very satisfying is a few creators come up to me and say like, oh, I really like the paper quality of the cover. It really feels good in my hands. I'm like, oh, yes. Excellent. That's what I was going for. So just hearing it of other creators was like, okay, they notice. That's enough. I didn't do it on the trade, just because I was going for a little bit of a different fit. I was kind of going for a more mainstream feel on the trade, if that makes sense. I made a comic for the comic book market, and I tried to package the trade to a book market as best I could. Hey, Connell. Big fan of production on some of the giant generator trades. The use of spot gloss and matte finish on deadly class trades stand out. Yeah, that costs money, man. I mean, I love it too, but you know, if you're doing books as big as Rick, you can afford to kind of take those splashes. I'm not putting them down because I love seeing them. But you basically need to, you kind of need to know you're going to make your money back, you know. When we were doing Old Dog, the designer on that book, Emma Price, she was kind of saying, what if we did like a gold foil on the logo, you know, like the gold chains, and like have that aesthetic on the book. I was like, oh man, that'd be so cool. And then I had image prices just to see how much that would cost, and I would like be in the poorhouse had I done that. Yeah, so that kind of blew, you know, you have to kind of choose your battles basically, and books that put you in debt don't really empower you that much. So that's why I try, like I said, I try to thread the needle a bit. I love it when people do that. I think in some ways it kind of hurts because it creates a false expectation that like that's what happens if you just wait. A really nice plush edition of the book will come out, but I mean, I would say really only, I mean, I don't know what percentage that is, can actually put it off. Rick's definitely one of them, and I love that he does. The hardcovers, like again, same with hardcovers. Hardcovers are basically like you need to be making money in order to justify making those because they're actually very expensive. Sorry if I'm boring you now with all the particulars, but like I'd love to do an Old Dog hardcover sometime, but the only way that could ever happen is if the actual trade sells really, 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 really well. Oh, good. I'm glad. Glad Old Dog felt sturdy. That's what I was going for. Again, it was easier to make that decision because I was the only one making that book. I didn't do anything wacky for like Time Before Time. I mean, I picked a paper stock that I wanted to go with, but we didn't do anything fancier than that just because it was a riskier book with me and what were kind of two unknowns at the time. And I could have gone like, let's do this and this paper stock and blah blah blah, but ultimately, like, if it doesn't work out, then you're denying profit to your co-creators. And I would, you know, I didn't really feel comfortable with that. But with Old Dog, you know, it's just me, so I can, you know, that's a risk I can choose to take, and it only affects me. Is this one done? Okay, one done. Alright, let's do this. There you go. Mr. Miracle. Now, next is this guy by Mobius. What's his name? Arzak. That was it. From Mobius's graphic novels. It's always interesting to consider what don't always get talked about. Yeah, I worry sometimes I'm kind of not spilling the tea, as I am literally pouring tea right now. Well, just because it's someone's business. Just a lot of time, people's expectations. They're like, oh well, why don't you do this and do that? And like, there's just very pragmatic money reasons for it. That are frustrating from a creative point of view, because you'd love to just go like, yeah, let's do this, I'd love to try that, and let's do this edition and that and what have you, but oh, I just remembered something. Bollocks. Time for Time FOC is today, I think. If anyone's listening to this, you can order the Time Before Time issue 1 Image First edition, which means you can get basically, it's a 30-page first issue of one Time Before Time reprint. It's only $1, so tell your retailer right now, because I think the FOC is today, and I lost track of time. Bollocks. I'm really glad Happy Image are doing it. I'm hoping it'll be a good way to kind of push all the trades again. But anyway, all that kind of stuff I find, I mean, not helpful, but like you need to know this stuff, because you could make promises to people and realize like, oh no, I will this book will be completely bankrupt because you made a stupid decision. For example, this Image Firsts thing is great. I think it's a great way to get the book in people's hands, but it's going to cost money to print a whole new edition and ship it out to stores, and that's all that'll cost the creative team. So any potential profit that'll get, a lot of that'll get eaten up by that. But it's a calculated risk. You hope it'll just it'll help get the book out there more. So for something like Image First, the creators are paying for the printing and distribution. Yeah, not like upfront. Like I need to hand Image a check or anything, but like of the money coming in from sales of the trade, that'll get deduct the costs of this new edition will get deducted from it. Does that make sense? So it's not like I need to walk up and like give Image the money, but like whatever profit is being made on the book, yeah, that'll just get so you're never like stuck to like paying for stuff up front or anything. It's always on the back end, which is helpful. So in a lot of cases, like you wouldn't even really notice it because if it's say I don't know a Kieran Gillen book is selling huge, and you do say like a second printing of a comic is it's nice news on the internet, but it's actually kind of bad news in some ways because it costs more to print a second edition because the numbers are smaller. You save money by printing higher amounts. So if you ordered if you printed say 40,000 copies of a comic because that's what you thought the orders were gonna, based on what the orders were, great. But then it sells out, and you need 15,000 more copies. Well, it actually costs a lot. It's more expensive to print a lower amount. So if you just printed 45,000 in the first place, you'd be grand. So stuff like that can be quite frustrating because it's a nice headline that the book's selling out, but had the orders been more accurate for the demand, which again you can only go by what the order numbers are, you could be a lot more efficient with your money, basically. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't be factored into Image's cut off the sales. It's basically whatever you would make. Image don't take a cut of the single issues. There's basically an Image fee. So if you sell 20,000 copies, they'll take their set fee. If you sell 50,000 copies, they'll take their set fee, and it's the same amount no matter what, which is amazing. Because that means if you sell great, they're still only getting the same cut than if you weren't selling great. But the problem, of course, then is if you're not selling great, then a big chunk of your sales go to Image's fee. So it's there's a definite plus and minus to it. But if you're succeeding, it puts you in a great spot. But Image basically cover everything up front, and then once accounts are done and stuff like that, then you get paid, or not, depending on how much the book makes. There might be a quarter where maybe you sold like issue say 15 and 16 did well, but you spent a lot of money on volume 3 that hasn't sold through yet, so then you're losing money on that while making money on the other thing, and overall you actually didn't make money. It's a tricky beast. Oh, hi Kieran. Is it Kieran or Kieran? Thank you very much. Kieran, nice one. Actually, Conal is it Connell or Conal? I keep calling you Conal, but I actually don't know. Conal. I think I got it wrong again. Conal. Conal. Connell. Connell. Not getting that right at all. Connell, not Conal. Right, Connell. Right, okay, got it, got it. Kieran, are you working on your own stories at the moment? Really enjoyed Bog Buddies. Thanks a million, man. Am I working on any other stories? Yeah, no. Kind of, not really. No. Yes. Jesus Christ, Shelly. I am, but not in any. Nothing that's really moving along. I kind of went all in on Creator Own there a year or so ago when I was working on Time Before Time and Old Dog at the same time. And what's happened in the last year or so is a lot of work for hire stuff's popped up, like Thundercats and Alien and Terminator at the moment. So that's ended up kind of eating up a lot of my time. So what I'm planning is once I wrap up a current kind of slab of stuff that I have, because I was kind of balancing a lot there. I was doing Mystique and writing 2 other books. You know, that was a lot. Since I finished Mystique, weirdly, I've still been very busy with lots of other stuff. So I want to get back to doing the next Old Dog chapter, but I have, let's say, like, I definitely have like an Irish story I want to do again, but I want to draw that And by all means, let me know what you think. I was saying to somebody there the other day, I would worry that if I did a non-old dog story that I wrote and drew, that would piss people off who are waiting for more old dog. If it was me, I wouldn't mind waiting on somebody, but I'm not every reader, so and I feel very lucky that as many people bought old dog as they did, so I don't annoy anybody, you know. I have another Irish centric story I'd like to do, but yeah, it would. I want to draw it too. So that's the next thing I'd like to draw that isn't, you know, kind of a bigger superhero-y thing or old dog. I have another Irish story I'd like to do, but I don't want to draw that one. And I have a series with a friend of mine that like we've been kind of talking to each other about it for years, and I really want to get it going. So that's kind of my priority, because he's going to be available soon, and I would like to hope that the Thundercat stuff and Terminator stuff might actually help push a new creator owned thing. So that's where. And I also have a big work for hire thing I need to pitch soon, which would be a real bucket list thing. So turns out I can only draw so much, unfortunately, because I'm not short of stuff I'd like to do. Just I can only draw so fast, and here I am doing commissions. But so yeah, so I end up kind of like I kind of really torture myself over this stuff, not really sure what I should do next, or you know, felt like doing Mystique was the right move after Old Dog, just because it was you know, I would hope that maybe it might push people to read Old Dog that hadn't tried it yet. So we'll see if that happens. But I feel I'm getting more kind of work for hire offers writing wise these days, which is great. I mean, I never thought I'd be in this position, to be honest with you. But I also have a strong compulsion to like make new stuff too, you know. I enjoy all the IP stuff, but I also don't want to just be doing that either, you know. I don't know if I'm over answering your question. Kieran, nice. The Irish stuff is always great. Everything happened with the Injection TV adaptation. I met you at the Comic-Con in Cork, and you were saying there was interest in it. Must have been a while ago. There was it was optioned a few years ago, but the option ran out, and it hasn't. Like, it's the same with other things too. Like, people kind of take interest, and then it kind of disappears and maybe comes back. So but yeah, it was actually optioned. I just didn't think I could talk about it at the time. That was announced actually. It was announced after a while, but basically options run out. What seems to happen, I've noticed, is that like companies completely implode. So you can have somebody who bought your option, but then the company doesn't exist anymore. So it seems to be a real run of the dice there. It was at the same time before Time was optioned as well, actually, for like 2 or so years, but like we weren't able to say it at the time. The reason I can say it is because that ran out as well. The Irish stuff is great to do. I mean, I haven't done one in a good few years now, but I think I didn't want to start pigeonholing myself writing wise as just like Irish crime guy. Um, I mean, I'm happy to be that guy, but just didn't want to be only that guy. But I've since done so much sci-fi stuff now at this stage that I wouldn't be so worried about that anymore. If anything, I kind of feel like it's a reason to do it. But yeah, I have one idea kind of set in Shannon, and another idea set in the Burn. The one in the Burn I want to draw because it'll have lots of rocks, and I like drawing rocks. But like it wouldn't be super long. I could just sit down and just spend like a chunk of a year drawing it, and then just put it out as a graphic novel or something. But again, like if people are waiting on Old Dog, I kind of feel like I owe it to them. And putting out a whole new story would kind of be a bit, I don't know, bad form. I don't know. you're on, what music are you listening to? Good question. I just have a Spotify Discover Weekly. So I actually haven't listened to any of this yet, but I'm liking the overall buzz of it. That was the last thing was Autolux. I liked that though. I'll sometimes put on like a playlist of my own that I like, but I listen to so much kind of video content stuff that I if I can kind of tune out to new music, I'll do that. Oh, I've never heard them before. Big, ended in big time on their candy apple. Yeah, I have never heard this before. It's cool. I like it. I have to say, I've found Spotify quite good for finding out about new stuff. I think this is done. A little. Yeah, I'll do it. Okay, that's like I don't should sign this thing. Okay. Ooh, yeah. That's two. One more now. Oh, stretch. Excuse me. Mm-hmm. Nice. Nice. Alright, Conal. Cheers, man. Yeah, just this one to do and then I'm done. Keep well. Kieran, how does one go about commissioning a piece? A Daredevil piece from you has been on my wish list for a long while. Well, I don't really take it much, to be honest, Kieran. Your best bet is... Hey, Christy. Oh, sorry. Your best bet is signing up to my newsletter, which is at my website, declanshelby.com. And whenever I'm doing commissions, that's where I announce them. Everyone there gets first dibs, basically. So that would be your best bet. Also, like, you know, I write about what I'm working on and stuff, but generally when I announce them on there, they all go. So I don't advertise them online, you know. I'll like open up like 2 or 3 slots or something, so something like that, you know. But that is your best bet, because I don't take open submissions or anything like that. I'm generally too busy. But I do like drawing Daredevil. I mean, it's possible if you catch me at a convention, I might be doing head sketches. It's unlikely though. But you know, can always ask. What I'll do, I'll give him the new shield pin. Since I did design it and all. beer doesn't smear on me. No worries, Kieran. No, my pleasure. Thanks for popping along. Oh, thanks, Matt. I really should have the hang of this guy by now. Matt, I was just colouring in Nick Fury by Walt Simonson the other day for a warm up. After taking him. Thanks, man. My first writing job was technically writing a Nick Fury story, so I have a soft spot. The character you'd revisit if you had the chance. Yeah, I'd say I would actually. I mean, I just did him. I just did him again in. Did him again. I just worked on him again in Mystique. It was actually the editor's suggestion. I wouldn't have thought of it myself. Well, I wouldn't have thought of it. I just wouldn't have thought that would be the fit they were going for an X-Men book. But no, I was very happy to return to him. Yeah, I would totally do him again. Do him. Declan, what are you talking? I would work on this guy again, no problem. I feel I've invested a little. I'm personally invested in him a bit now at this stage. So, yeah, for sure. Right, I think that's it. Yep. Yeah, I think I'm all done here now. Let's let it go pack. Hey, Jamie. Thanks, man. That's the last one now for a while. I am wrecked. It's been fun to do though, so I'm gonna try make it a more regular thing. Like, not, I wouldn't be doing it as much as I have been for the last while, but even if it's just like regularly once a month or something, would be nice, I think. Yeah. Right, so, oh dear. Okay, thanks a million, guys, for popping in. And yeah, I don't know when I'll do this again next, but it won't be too long, I don't think. But yeah, cheers again. I shall talk to you next time. Yeah, thanks, guys. Catch you later.